What's up, everybody? Cool Keys here. We got some class tuning notes here. Gotta laugh at myself. I just recorded a video and went back to watch it before posting it and realized I did not have my mic on. So we're gonna take another pass at this. So class tuning incoming. This is gonna go live on the next reset. What Blizzard has stated is this should be a light tuning pass. Really, they're just looking at buffing the underperformers. They don't want to upset the meta too much in the middle of the race. But once we see the race for World First end, then we'll start seeing some of the nerf bat swings here. But for this, just expect some buffs of the underperformers. So what Blizzard states here: first couple days of Mythic rating and Mythic Plus dungeons revealed a few specs performing lower than intended, so we're nudging them up to help their performance. So leading it off here, we got Frost Death Knight. All damage dealt increased by 4%. Not surprised to see this. I haven't seen anyone playing Frost DK. I've only seen Unholy. So there you go. Not surprised seeing a buff there. Feral Druid, all damage dealt increased by 3%, versus Frantic Frenzy damage reduced by 8%. So looking at a single target buff here, trying to keep their AoE in line. Developers' notes: our intention here is to improve feral damage in raids without increasing their damage in M+, which is already competitive. I haven't seen a lot of feral get played. I've heard they are strong single target, and that there may be the last two bosses, or at least the last boss, may have a good single target focus, so we might see some action from them on that. We'll have to wait and see. Looking at Hunter next. Beast Mastery, it's what I'm maining this season. All damage dealt increased by 4%, second week in a row. Do like seeing that. We are a bit undertuned. Not to toot my own horn, but we had a Guild Night I parsed higher than the person who was actually above me on damage. So that just shows, tuning is a bit off. If you get a higher parse, it did less damage. Survival, again, all damage dealt increased by 4%, so they get to join the Hunter buff party this week. Everyone is really just, marksman is way ahead, so we'll see if this closes the gap a bit. Looking at Mage, Arcane got buffed. Burden of Power now increases Arcane blast damage by 25%, where it previously was 5%. And Arcane pulse damage increased by 15%, was 5%. So developer notes for this: Arcane Sun Fury is a bit farther behind our expectations in single target damage. We'll see if Arcane gets played. Right now everyone's just playing Frost Mage, so we'll see if this changes anything. Moving on to Shadow Priest. Developer's notes for us on this one is: Shadow Word Death has been lacking in damage, even in execute range, so we are significantly increasing its damage to correct this. To increase damage in multi-target situations, we are targeting some AoE only sources and shifting some power from some single target sources of damage to shadowy apparition damage. So what we're seeing here: Shadow Word Death damage increased by 80%. Mind Blast and Void Blast damage reduced by 10%. Shadow Apparition and Void Apparition damage increased by 35%. Spectral Horrors now increases shadowy apparition damage against targets affected by Shadow Word Madness by 30. Previously it was 50, so we're bringing that down a little. Psychic Link causes direct damage spells to inflict 25% of their damage on all targets afflicted by Vampiric Touch. That is, so they're moving it to 25. It was 20, so slight buff there. Void Spike from Things from Below. Void Spike from Things from Beyond now deals 25% additional damage to secondary targets. So not affecting their prio at all, but will up their overall AoE. Mind Seer from Void Lashers now deals 25% additional damage. I'll be honest with you guys, don't know Shadow Priest hardly at all, so let me know in the comments what you think about these. We'll see. We're going to round it off with Warrior, Arms Warrior. Developer notes arms single target damage remains lower than intended, and particularly when in execute. So execute damage increased by 20%, and overpower damage increased by 10%. I do like seeing this arms warrior buff, particularly the way they handled it. I'm not playing warrior, so I don't know how the spec feels, but thematically I like this because warriors, especially arms warriors, kind of known for being strong execute. So I like seeing that that's what they're buffing, is what their class identity strength typically is. A lot of player versus player PvP stuff here. I don't really PvP, guys, so not anymore. So I'm not going to go over this. I don't PvP. You're not watching this for PvP. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Please hit that like button, subscribe. Trying to get this channel off the ground, see if I can make this a thing. So I love the support. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions for me. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.